I used to tell runners that they didn't need insoles, but I was wrong, but only partly. Here's the thing, the research on insoles is actually very interesting, and it's changed the way I've thought about them completely. Not because insoles are magic, they're not, but the right insole on the correct foot at the right moment generally can make a difference. Today I'm going to talk about what the research actually says, the one thing no one actually talks about when we talk about your feet, and why your insoles may not be doing what you think they are. Hi there, I'm Dr. Lynne Virant, physical therapist and running form specialist, and I'm here to share with you what you can do to improve your running so you can run faster, farther, and forever. Now, if you're ready to skip ahead, there's a running readiness quiz in the description, and that's going to tell you in about 2 minutes whether you're ready for insoles or if there's something else you need to address. Go ahead and jump right there if you're ready. Let's start with something most people don't realize. Your insoles typically do one of 2 jobs, and it matters which one you're asking it to do. The first job is comfort. More cushioning, better pressure distribution, or a softer ride. This is what most over-the-counter insoles are designed for. And the research backs that up in a way I was surprised about. In fact, when most people pick an insole based on comfort, it actually tends to improve their running and help them prevent injury. Comfort isn't just cushioning, it's actually protective. The second is biomechanical correction, or easier way to put, addressing the way that you move, whether it's a structural change or a mechanical change that's contributing to some pain or injury that you might be experiencing. That's where custom orthotics can come in. But here's where I'll be honest with you. Often when people bring in orthotics, what I've found is that they tend to be over-engineered. What that means is they tend to be really rigid in the part that you need to move, your arch. The arch is supposed to load and recoil like a spring. When you lock your arch down completely, you're not correcting the problem, you're probably trading one problem for another one. And for common conditions like plantar fasciitis, the research has shown that oftentimes simply an over-the-counter orthotic can be just as helpful as a custom one. Custom isn't automatically better. The question should always be, what does your foot actually need, whether it's a custom or an over-the-counter insole? Speaking of which, the runner readiness quiz is in the description below, and it can help you answer that exact question about what your foot might actually need. So here's another issue that almost never comes up, but it's an issue that I see in almost every runner that I assess. Your running shoes are built on a mold. The mold assumes that your right foot and your left foot are identical and symmetrical, and they're not. Almost nobody's are. Your feet are like siblings, they're not twins. One foot might pronate more, the other foot might have a higher arch. Now I have a pair of insoles here to kind of show how in the same shoe, how your feet can wear a little bit differently. On the same exact insoles, this heel wore down the logo a little bit more than on the opposite one, but on this insole, there's a darker wear on the ball of the foot than in the opposite side. So even in the same shoe, both feet can wear differently. And when both feet are in identical symmetrical shoes, each foot can move differently with every single stride. This is one thing that insoles can do that shoes can't, because you can use them differently on each side. A small wedge in one foot, a neutral insole in the other, more arch support on one foot that needs it, and not over supporting the other side if it doesn't. If you've been dealing with pain that keeps coming back on the same side, your hip, your knee, your shin, or your ankle, and you've addressed everything else, that asymmetry might be the piece of the puzzle that you're looking for. If this sounds like you, take the runner readiness quiz right now. It's exactly the kind of issue that the quiz is built to highlight. Link in the description. Last thing, and this is for those of you that have been using the same insole for more than a year. You put them in, they've helped, so you've continued to use them. 2 things happen over time that most people never account for. 1, the insole degrades. The materials compress and lose their structural property. You might be running on what has become a flat piece of foam and thinking it's supposed to support you, but it's not. 2, your foot changes. Your strength changes, your mechanics change. What your foot needed 2 years ago might not be what it needs now. If the insole was addressing a problem you've already resolved, it might now be working against you. It's recommended that you replace your running shoes every 300 to 500 miles. What about your insoles? In fact, they probably degrade even more because they're being asked to do more targeted work right at your foot. So here's the takeaway. Insoles are a tool. They work best when they're matched with the right job, the correct foot, and the right moment for your training. Comfort insoles, generally protected and often underrated. Custom orthotics, useful in the right context, not automatically better, and often over-engineered. And if you've been using the same insole for over a year, it's worth asking if they're worth reassessing and still doing the job that you think it is. The goal isn't do you need insoles or not. The goal is, does your setup actually match what your feet need for your running? If you're not sure where you stand, the running readiness quiz is linked in the description, and that's the best place to start. It takes about 2 minutes, and it'll give you a clear picture about whether your current setup is just right or if you have something that's worth looking into. I'm Dr. Lynne Virant, serving you as a physical therapist and running form specialist in person and online. If you have questions about your insoles, your running shoes, or something just doesn't feel right in your training, drop it in the comments below and take the quiz. I read everything. And I'll see you on the next video.